Assalamualaikum. This is Ahsanul Qawaid, lesson 14. For this lesson, you want to open up to page 14 in your book. We will start learning the next symbols associated with the Arabic letters to help us read them. Over the last 3 lessons, we learned about the fatha, which makes the a sound, the kasra, which makes the e sound, and the dhamma, which makes the u sound. Make sure you go over those lessons if you need to review these concepts. Today, we will be looking at the symbol called two fathas, or you can also call it double fatha. But in this video, we'll refer to this symbol as two fatha. And the two fatha, just like the normal fatha, will come on top of the letter, and it will give the letter the sound N, written here, like A-N. So let's go through the first line of the alphabet so you guys can hear how it's pronounced. So we have Alif, two fatha, N. Ba, two fatha, Ben. Da, two fatha, Den. Tha, two fatha, Then. Jim, two fatha, Jen. Ha, two fatha, Hen. Kha, two fatha, Khan. Dal, two fatha, Den. Thal, two fatha, Then. Ra, two fatha, Ron. Za, two fatha, Zen. Sin, two fatha, Sen. Shin, two fatha, Shen. Sad, two fatha, Son. Dad, two fatha, Don. Ta, two fatha, Ton. Va, two fatha, Van. Ain, two fatha, An. Ghain, two fatha, Ghan. Tha, two fatha, Then. Qaf, two fatha, Qan. Kaf, two fatha, Gan. Lam, two fatha, Len. Mim, two fatha, Men. Noon, two fatha, Nen. Waw, two fatha, Wen. Ha, two fatha, Hen. Hamza, two fatha, N. And Ya, two fatha, Yan. So something you guys may notice about the alphabet with two fatha is that an extra alif is added after each letter. When we're actually reading two fatha, the extra alif is not pronounced. We don't do anything to read the alif. We would just say ben, den, then. However, there is a purpose for this alif when we end on a word that has two fatha. And I will explain this at the end of the video, inshallah, after we practice reading the two fatha normally. So with that, make sure you rewind the video if you need to practice the alphabet again with two fatha. If not, let's get into the practice with our words here. So this first one is alif fatha a, ba fatha ba, and dal two fatha dan. A ba dan. A ba dan. Next one, ra fatha ra, ghain fatha gha, and dal double fatha dan. Ra gha dan. Ra gha dan. Next one, ta fatha ta, ba fatha ba, and qaf double fatha or two fatha qan. Ta ba qan. Ta ba qan. Next one, jim fatha ja, noon fatha na. Remember, noon has one dot at the top. And then fa two fatha fan. Ja na fan. Ja na fan. Last one on this line, mim fatha ma, lam kasra li, and kaf two fatha gan. Ma li gan. malikan. And what you'll notice about all these words is they've actually connected them this time. They're not separate like how they were in the fatha, kasra, and dhamma lessons. So this is how Arabic words are actually written, where the letters are connected to each other. Okay, let's go to the next line. We have mim fatha ma, tha fatha tha, and lam to fatha lan. Mathalan. Mathalan. Next one. Ain kasra ri, noon fatha na, and ba to fatha ban. Na ban. Na ban. Next one. Qaf fatha qa, صاد fatha sa, and صاد to fatha son. qa sa son. qa sa son. Next one. Lam fatha la, ain kasra ri, and ba to fatha ban. La ban. La ban. Next one. Tha fatha tha, mim fatha ma, and noon to fatha nun. Thamanan. Thamanan. Next line. We have alif fatha a, sin kasra si, and tha to fatha fan. A si fan. A si fan. So one thing I want to pause here and point out to you guys is how do we tell the difference between an alif and a lam? So here, when I'm circling in orange, we have an alif. And up here, where I'm also circling in orange, we have a lam. So sometimes to a lot of students, the alif and the lam both look like sticks. So here's how to tell the difference between them. Alif is never going to be connected to the letter after it. So this space that we see here between the alif and the sin, that lets you know that that letter is an alif because it will never be connected to the letter after it. On the other hand, this lam that we have up here, it's a stick, but it's connected to the letter after it. And so that means that it is a lam and not an alif. So remember, lams connected to the letter after, but alifs not connected to the letter after. So that's how we can tell the difference between them. All right, let's continue reading. We have for this letter, qaf fatha qa, dal fatha da, and ra to fatha run. Qadaran. Qadaran. Next one. Can you tell if this one is a lam or an alif? If you thought lam, you are correct because it is connected to the letter after it. So lam fatha la, ba fatha ba, and noon to fatha nan. La ba nan. La ba nan. Next one, we have kaf fatha ka, ذال kasra vi, and ba to fatha ban. Kadhiban. Kadhiban. Next one, shin fatha sha, ta fatha ta, and ta to fatha tan. Sha ta tan. Sha ta tan. Okay, for the last two lines, I want you guys to pause the video and see if you can read through the last two lines yourself, and then unpause the video when you're ready to hear the answers and repeat after me. This first one would be kaf pesh, or dhamma ku. Pesh, remember, is another name for dhamma, but we'll use dhamma throughout. So kaf dhamma ku, fa dhamma fu, and wow to fatha one. Ku fu one. kufuwan. Next one. Can you tell if this is a lam or an alif? If you thought lam, you are correct because it is connected to the letter after it. So lam dhamma lu, ba fatha ba, and dal to fatha dan. Lu ba dan. Lu ba dan. Next one. Sin dhamma su, ra dhamma ru, and ra double fatha or two fatha run. Su ru run. Su ru run. Next one. Ha dhamma hu, za dhamma zu, and wow two fatha one. Hu zu one. Hu zu one. Next one. Ra dhamma ru, sin dhamma su, and lam two fatha lan. Ru su lan. Ru su lan. All right, next line. We're getting into four-lettered words now. We have ayn fatha a. Can you tell if this is the lam or an alif? If you thought lam, you are correct because it is connected to the qaf that comes after it. So lam fatha la, qaf fatha qa. And this letter we've never seen before, or we have seen in the lesson that we were talking about the different forms of the letters. So can you remember what that was? This is a da that we saw a couple of lessons back. So we have da, two fatha, dan. A, la, qa, dan. A, la, qa, dan. Next one. Ba, fatha, ba. Qaf, fatha, qa. Ra, fatha, ra. And can you guys remember what this last letter is? It is a da, two fatha, dan. Ba, qa, ra, dan. Ba, qa, ra, dan. Next one, we have a ha, fatha, ha. Sin, fatha, sa. Noon, fatha, na. And da, two fatha, dan. Ha, sa, na, dan. Ha, sa, na, dan. Last one. Noon fatha na. Kha kasra khi. Ra fatha ra. And da two fatha dan. Na khi ra dan. Na khi ra dan. Okay. In next lesson, we will go on to the next symbol, which is two kasra. And I will also talk about what this extra alif is and when we use it, when we have our two fatha.